So team, welcome to Selenium plus Java Advanced Live Training Orientation session. So today we are going to give you a quick idea of what is the Selenium tool is all about and what are the contents that you're going to learn as part of this course. Of course, definitely the advantages of being, master in this particular course, which is very popular in the market right now. So the quick agenda is something like this. So we'll talk about the introduction to Selenium. Then we'll look at what is the purpose of this particular tool, where we're going to use it. And then we'll look at the history of Selenium, where it is started and what are the different versions of it, like Selenium Suite 1.0 and Selenium Suite 2.0. The one that currently we are using is Selenium Suite 2.0. Then it consists of majorly these components. One is Selenium IDE, stands for Integrated Development Environment, followed by WebDriver 2.0. That's the major one that you have to learn. And there is another important component called Selenium Grid as well, which is Grid 2.0. Then we'll also look at how can we integrate the Selenium with other tools like build tools like Apache Maven tool and continuous integration and continuous deployment tools like Jenkins. So this is the quick agenda what we are going to look at today. So typically what we do is for every batch we would create a Google Drive in which, like for example, this is Selenium Jan 16.1. Let me go back and let me create a new folder saying Selenium March 16th. So this is the folder that anything that I want to share with you guys, I'll put it into this, and it could be a document, it could be a PPT or anything, so that I will put it over here. Let's open one Google document. Okay. So let's look at the tool introduction part about it. I know, let me. So we can define it like this. Selenium is a freeware, means it is an open source automated functional testing suite for the web applications. Across different browsers on on different operating systems. So the catchy points here is, first is it's a freeware. What does that mean? It's an open source tool. Anybody can use this particular tool without actually spending any money. If you look into the other side, we have commercial tools like QTP UFT, we have Microsoft Visual Studio Test Suite, we have Rational IBM Suite. There are so many other tools. They are all commercial tools. But this is typically a freeware tool where different people across the world, they came together and contributed to this particular tool. And today there are a lot many people are using it, a lot many people are contributing it, so it's getting enhanced on a day-to-day basis because many companies are using. So it's basically a freeware or open source. The another important point that you have to remember about this tool is it's used only for functional testing. Like typically what happens, automation is available in multiple areas. For example, if you have learned a bit about testing, now automation you can find it in multiple places. One is functional testing automation, load and performance testing automation. The other one is test process management. When it comes to functional testing automation, we have many tools like UFT, QTP UFT. Previously it was known as QTP. We have Selenium. We have Silk Test, Microsoft Visual Studio Test Suite. So like this we have many tools. Coming to load and performance, we have Load Runner, NeoLoad, WebLoad. The same Visual Studio Test Suite can be used as load testing tool. When it comes to test process management tool, where you manage your test cases, defects, your automation code, etc. So again, we have VSTS from Microsoft, and we have you can use VSTS from Microsoft for maintaining your test cases as well as bugs. You can use Quality Center or ALM from the HP again. Similarly, there are only defect tracking tools, like you can use Jira also, one of the issue tracking tool. So like this we have different tools. Exclusively if you look at this UFT, Selenium, or forget about this VSTS, because VSTS can be used for load testing also, it can be used for performance testing also. But exclusively if you look at this UFT or Selenium, they are primarily for functional testing only. They cannot be used for any performance testing, or they cannot be used for any test management tool. So Selenium is like that. It is used only for functional testing automation. One more catchy point that you have to look at here is it's used only for web applications. Whereas the other tools, for example, if you look at QTP or UFT, for example, this is used for both Windows applications as well as web applications. But Selenium is exclusively for web-based applications only. Of course, it can be used for mobile applications also, but it requires a separate plugin or add-in to be integrated. But the primary purpose is only for web applications. That's the limitation, you can call it as, for the Selenium. But another advantage is across different browsers. So this is another advantage. You can use Selenium with Firefox browser, you can use it with Google Chrome browser, you can use it with Internet Explorer browser, you can use it with the latest Edge browser, you can use it with many browsers. All you have to do is, I'll just show you. So this is from where we get everything. That is seleniumhq.org is the website where you have the complete information about it. And if you go into the details about it, you will find what is Selenium, etc. If you go into download, the browsers that I'm talking about is all here. You can work with Google Chrome driver, Opera, Ghost, Edge browser. You can do it from here. By default, it works on Firefox, but we have to do a little bit of extra 2 lines of coding so that it works for other browsers also. So that is about across different, and very interestingly, it works on different operating systems also. Operating systems like you can use this on Windows, Mac operating system, You can use it on Unix, Linux, different operating systems. So any questions so far? Is everything good, or anybody has any questions? Okay, Suma has a question. What is the difference between Windows and web-based? Okay. For example, if I have this, let's say this snipping tool or this paint or this Word or this Eclipse, what you can see, these are all Windows applications, or this Notepad. These are publication number of people can use, and when number of people are using, how many users can maximum use my application? Is it 1,000 people, 2,000 people? How many people can use it? So that is what you are going to check with load testing. Performance testing is something we all keep talking about. Hey, there is a website. It's quite similar to the QTP, or UFT. I don't know how many of you, I mean, it's not really mandatory, but generally people try to compare with that, so I'm giving it only that Selenium focuses on web-based applications. So that is the main difference, whereas QTP can be used for both Windows as well as web-based applications. Okay, Sushma has a question like, what is the scripting language used for the Selenium, right? So as you all know, QTP uses something like VBScript or JavaScript. If in order to work with Selenium, you can use any of these languages. You can use Java, you can use C#, you can use Python, you can use Ruby, etc. So there are so many languages that you can use it. Here we are going to focus on the Java language, completely the course, because when we looked at the market, that's what is most of the people are using, and that's why the entire course is with Selenium with Java. So you don't need to worry about the Java language. If you don't know anything about Java language, is also fine. This course will take care of it. Like probably in the next slide, I have all that. So what you're going to mainly learn is we're going to completely make you master in Java language, the amount of Java language that is required for the Selenium purpose, not like a Java developer, but whatever is required for the Selenium as such, we'll look at it. We look at a JUnit and TestNG framework. So while writing the scripting, we'll be using a JUnit framework for basic unit testing, and we'll be testing level at end-to-end testing level. We'll be using something called TestNG framework, which is a next generation of framework. This is by default, companies have already developed. What we are going to use is we are going to directly use it and write the code, and so that we'll get a proper reporting and everything. On top of it, we will be developing a data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, hybrid framework is what we are going to develop. I'll touch upon behavioral-driven development as well, Suma. But what we're going to develop is majorly these things. And we look at page object model or page factory. How we can, this is one of the major concept or popularly used in today's world, page object model. So we'll look at examples with that. Then we'll see Selenium Grid. So if you have to run your tests parallelly on different browsers, different machines at a time, then we are going to use this concept called Grid. So we'll see how we can integrate with Selenium Grid and how we can run the test parallelly. And then we'll see how can we integrate with Apache Maven for continuous building, automating the build tool. And we'll be looking at how can we integrate with Jenkins for the continuous integration. So this is the major topics as what we're going to cover. Smita has also a question. Will we learn for develop framework as well? Yeah. So it's not, so especially those three which I'm talking about: data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, hybrid framework. You will be completely, developing those frameworks. But so the entire course will run it in two modes of it. One, couple of them are videos based, where for example, if you take one of the framework, as long as there's no advancements into the framework, we have videos that are done by Karthik, who's the founder of IT Learn. Is about 7 to 8 years of experience in the world of teaching with QTP frameworks as well as Selenium frameworks. So there are some frameworks that he developed it. So those will be available to you as video based. And some of them which are not available, majority of them then in terms of the topics, whatever I've explained, if you go back to the PPT once more, like Java language, unit test and TestNG framework, data-driven framework, page object model, grid, integration with all these, I will be covering it as a live sessions. So only these two probably you may need to watch it from the videos that we have recently done. I mean, he has been doing it for a long time, but we will always share all the videos. In fact, whatever he has done for till now in the Selenium, all the videos will be available to you. So these two frameworks, you have to watch it from them. Yes, you can use them in your project. This is one of the one that's popularly people are using it in real time now. What will be the key to learn Selenium? So Nurjat has a question, what will be the key to learn Selenium? Means you're talking about market point of view, or you're talking about how can we learn? What is your question? Meanwhile, I'll try to address what is the purpose of this Selenium tool. Anyway, I might have touched it. Typically, like any other automation tool, right? The main purpose of any automation tool is for regression testing, right? So if you're going to repeat some testing again and again for the upcoming builds, you wanted to repeat that manual testing and you wanted to have a better work-life balance, because if you have to repeat the same testing again and again and again, you as a test engineer, you may not have an interest, and it's a very time-consuming process to do manually. So that is where you have to do regression testing, or where you have to do retesting. Then we will always use an automation, and the same case with Selenium as well. The other one is, suppose you have to do browser compatibility testing. That means your web application is supposed to go into market for different browsers. But yeah, everything will be shared. As I told you, this Google Drive is created for you only, which is at Selenium March 16. So I'll be putting all the examples that I'll be discussing it here, and I'll be sharing with you guys. Suppose we have tested the product or the web application in one of the browser, let's say Internet Explorer browser. But we have to also ensure that it works on Google Chrome, it works on Firefox, it works on Edge browser. So then you can use the automation code developed in Selenium rather than manually testing it. All you have to do is 2 to 3 lines of code in your scripting. Previously you might have tested it on Firefox. Now you wanted to switch to Google Chrome, so you'll change 2-3 lines of code and it's automatically can be tested on other browsers. Another important thing that I told you, OS compatibility testing. Same case, my product needs to be tested against Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Unix operating system, etc., Macintosh operating system. But if I have to test all the cases and all these combinations, it's going to take a lot of time. So I might test one full set on Windows, let's say, then I will run my automation on Macintosh and Unix and Linux to check whether everything is working fine or not. So that's where the purpose of any automation tool, not just Selenium. The first one supports for any automation tool, but Selenium supports multiple browsers, Selenium supports multiple operating system. We can say these are the points. But if somebody have aware of QTP or UFT, I know it third point cannot be achieved with it because it supports only Windows operating system. Second point can be achieved. Your UFT, you can use it for Internet Explorer, you can use it for other browsers. But third point, you cannot really achieve with a tool like QTP or UFT because it works only with Windows operating system. Is that clear? If we get into a little bit of history, when it is started and how long it has been become famous, etc. Probably we started might be hearing and maybe in 1 or 2 years, but how long this been exist? So Selenium first version, like Selenium 1.0, released by a company called ThoughtWorks in the year of 2004. So if you see, the first version of Selenium came into picture 2004 itself. It's almost 12 years that Selenium is there in the market. But for all these days, UFT was so popular and this was a freeware tool. Not many people were contributing to it. It was just used by only very few people. And we can definitely recollect this guy, founder of Selenium 1.0 is, his name is Jason Huggins. So he's the one who developed this tool for the first time. But as I told you, there were not many contributions for the 1.0, so it was not really popular. It was just used by very few companies or very small industries who cannot really afford, etc. Then what Google has done is they have taken this code and they have invested a lot of money into it for development. So Selenium 2.0 released by Google in 2010. So starting from there, it picked up. Now since it's a freeware, very few people were contributing it. So then Google realized there is a potential to this tool. If you can enhance it, it will be much better. And so they have invested some amount of time and money. And they came up with something called Selenium 2.0. What we are going to learn is Selenium 2.0. So 1.0 is very, very old and we are not going to look at any of them. The main engineer or lead engineer of Selenium 2.0 is we call it as Stewart. So his full name is Simon Stewart. So he's the one who invested a lot of things into Selenium 2.0. Of course, he's a Google employee, and so this came in 2010. From there onwards, people started using it very much, and nowadays you can see the market share and how many companies are using. So it's very popular. Until 2-3 years back, it was majorly the QTP or UFT tool that was majorly used. But now you can see the market is almost switching from QTP or UFT to Selenium. Most of the companies are using because it's a freeware, and there is a good amount of support is also happening nowadays, because bigger companies, multinational companies worry about supportability. That's why they go for commercial tools. But nowadays it's all happening for this, so people take Selenium also one of their primary tools. Let's quickly look at what are the components available in 1.0 and what is currently available. 1.0 had one major component called IDE, stands for Integrated Development Environment. We are going to look at 2 to 3 sessions first on this IDE because it's there in 2.0 also. Then it had something called Selenium RC. If at all you might have heard about it. Stands for Remote Control. So this is deprecated now. It's not there. So we don't need to worry about this. Then there was something called Selenium Grid. This we used to call it as Grid 1. So we used to have something called Grid 1. Even this is also deprecated. Okay, these are the components in 1.0, Selenium 1.0. What you are going to learn, that is Selenium 2.0, and if we look at its components, of course we have Selenium IDE like that, so we are going to spend about 2 to 3 sessions on that. Then we have Selenium Webdriver. There's something called Webdriver which is being introduced in 2.0. Then we have Selenium Grid 2.0. So these are the major components that you're going to look at. So typically what happened is, just explain. So if you look at the entire Selenium suite, first initially it had IDE, then it had something called Selenium RC, remote control. They also had WebDriver, but this WebDriver is called 1.0, and then Selenium Grid. That is also 1.0. Now what happened in the latest one, they merged these two, RC and WebDriver 1.0, they have merged and they made something powerful called WebDriver 2.0. This is the one that you're going to majorly learn it. Of course, we'll spend about first 3 sessions on IDE to understand how it works, 30 to 35 sessions on this. Then we have upgraded version of Grid, that is Grid 2.0. So we are not going to look at 1.0, we are going to look at Grid 2.0. So about 2 sessions on this. Apart from this, you will be taught Java language, you will be discussed with Apache Maven, Jenkins, etc. So as basically I can say, total number of sessions will be definitely more than 60, but not everything is live. It's a video plus live based mixed, so I will be covering about 35 plus 3, 38 plus 2, about 40 sessions of live, and you will have to go through about 20 to 25 sessions of videos which are done by Karthik. So putting together will be about 60 to 65 sessions is what you need to spend, which are about 1 hour 15 minutes daily. So then you can become master into this particular tool using the Java. So this is the overall introduction about the tool. I wanted to spend few minutes just taking your questions. So it's your time. Let me know if you have any questions on this particular tool, what you're going to learn or how you're going to learn. So apart from this 1 hour of 15 minutes, you have to spend another 1 hour of practice daily, because the tool is vast. So if I like to integrate with C# Selenium testing, you can do that. How to export into C# and everything, I'll just quickly show in 10-15 minutes of a session. But if you have to learn Selenium with C#, that is altogether different. Like for example, whatever I'm going to spend in this 30-35 sessions of WebDriver, you have to learn this 30-35 sessions of WebDriver with C#. So when I say this WebDriver, we are going to use a tool called Eclipse with Java, and we are going to spend this 30-35 sessions. Similarly, same WebDriver, you have to use it with Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio with C#, and you have to do the similar thing. So it's a different course altogether. In this, what we are covering is with Java. Can we have the first class started a little earlier than, yeah, so that's a very important point that I wanted to highlight. Actually what happened was the last batch that I have showed the Google Drive, I was supposed to be completed by yesterday, and that's how we planned this particular thing. But all of a sudden I had to travel to US for about 2 weeks on my critical project work. So that got delayed a little bit, and that's why this is coming up. So we don't want to start something where the other people are struggling it. So it's a little bit of clashing with the time. So that's why we are starting it. But we have a day one tomorrow, and after that, most probably we'll start it like third week of this month. Until then, what is my suggestion is these 20 videos I've told you, right? So this you can start watching them from tomorrow itself. After that, so that you don't need to spend any time when I'm actually explaining it parallelly for the videos. You have to look at my live sessions as well as Karthik videos anyhow. Then you will actually get two perspectives, or experts from two experts trying to give this similar tool in two different ways. Then you can become master. So you can immediately get registered and start going through those videos until I start the live sessions. That's the good way to start. My name is Shankar. Oh, sorry, I've not given my introduction. So this is Shankar. I have about 13 years of experience in the field of software testing. I currently work as a test architect for a product-based company. So yeah, that's all. And we use Selenium with Java is a major thing, using test engine frameworks. I worked on QTP UFT for a long time. Before that, I worked on Windrunner for a long time. I started my career with Windrunner, then moved to QTP, and now it's all about Selenium. All you have to do is you have to take the last batch videos from Karthik and just start watching through from the day one. After you're done with your registrations and everything, they'll give you a login ID and password. You have to log in into itelan.com with your login credentials, and then you have to go into the Selenium section. Then you will see all the videos that we have done so far in the reverse chronological order, like the latest ones should be coming up first, and pick up the one that you start going through the latest one. Don't go through my videos, because my videos anyway I'll cover it as live. Go through Karthik's videos. I don't see previous coding experience before. Does Selenium require a lot of Java code? It requires a lot of Java code, but we start from a very, very basic level, Nurjat, like how to declare a variable, how to declare a constant, how to write a small if condition. We'll start from a very, very fundamental level so that you don't really feel difficult. It's not exactly 2025. It's a complete course that Karthik has done. It is available, and you can actually. So when you become a member of the Selenium, we'll give you all the Selenium videos, which we have been doing it for about last 3-4 years. You cannot watch all of them. You don't need to watch all of them. Just pick up the latest one that is run by the Karthik and start going through it. I will ask them to exactly mail the so what we do, we categorize all the videos based on the month where we start the batch. So I'll ask them to give you the exact link so that you can start going through them. If you happen to miss anything, there's nothing to worry. On the same day, for example, if I have done with this today's session within 24 hours, worst case, normally we try to send it within 3-4 hours. Within 24 hours, this video will be available on the website, ITLN website, so you can go through that. Okay, Archana says none of my questions are answered today in previous sessions. I think let me go back and see. If you don't mind, Archana, okay, I see one question. Do we need to know basics of Java? Yes, you need to know the basics of Java for sure, because without that we cannot do. And that's what I told you. I will be explaining you from the very fundamental level of how to declare variables, constants, and everything. In the chat, I can see only that question, Archana. If you can post any of other questions that you have previously typed, that will be really good. One question, do you provide any job support if needed, any help of the project? So ITLN is associated with placements also with different consultancies, but that works totally in a different fashion. So just drop an email to ITLN. I would say all the technical help that is required for your interviews preparation and that kind of stuff, we can do it, but it's not a guaranteed placement. But at the same time, they are trying to invest into the other venture. That's why the Karthik is currently busy and I'm taking these sessions. So they are coming up with a consultancy model, but I don't say definitely it's a guaranteed placement. They can help you. For any fees related stuff or anything, please write an email to learn@itlearn.com. I'm just a trainer here. I really don't have any idea about the fee structure. Okay. Any other questions related to the course, please? How do we do any project after completion of this course? So during the course explanation itself, we try to do with most of the applications that are developed within IDE Learn and its related companies. There are, you can actually go through. For example, there is another company called Atomic 77. Is also a related company of IDE Learn. Again, Karthik is the founder for this, and this is basically into digital marketing. So they develop a lot of websites for different companies. So what we do, we'll pick up those applications and we'll use it for our course learning. So it'll be like a, oops, it'll be like a definitely a project kind of an approach that what we're going to do it here. But apart from this, what we also do is when a brand new project comes, it's almost we can expect every 3 months or 4 months a project that is coming out of Atomic 77. So we'll introduce something called a live project at that time, and you can actually register for that, and you can automate using Selenium the same project. So that's how you can get experience on live project as well. That's also a very good experience. People from all over the world will join the course, and it'll be at least 50 to 60 people will be participating. It's more from your side. You will be doing it, and we will be there to guide you or support on a weekly basis to if you're going wrong, and then you all will come and present the status. So we'll divide into teams, and people go work as a teamwork. Smita has a question. When we enroll, will we get to watch the QTP? No. QTP, it's all course-based videos. So if you join for Selenium, you'll get only Selenium videos. Can we automate using Selenium all the web-based applications? Yeah, you can automate all of them using, whether it is developed in Java, .NET, does not matter. All the web applications you can automate. Okay, Wally has a question, how long it will take to complete these 40 sessions? So as I told you, the only thing starting of this course is a little bit delayed because of my travel. So we were supposed to continue from tomorrow itself, but it's clashing with my currently going on batch. So once we start it in 3rd week of March, from there you can consider it to be 40 days. So by end of April, everything will be done. You are actually entering it in the right, but the questions are coming up so many. So do we have another automation? Yeah, tomorrow we have a day 1 demo. Live project is separate, but just check with them. I think it's a very minimal fees or something, $50 or $100. I really don't know about the money. Just write an email to learn@itlearn.com. They'll help you. Live project is no, it's separate actually. All right. So any questions related to the course content? Sushma has the same question on the fees. Sushma, please write an email to learn@itlearn.com. Post this, and I'm sure you'll get the response within few minutes. Yeah, tomorrow we have another session, day 1 session, and after that we'll be continuing it from 3rd week of March. But I told you this is the time you can invest in going through. Anyway, you have to go through 20-25 videos of Karthik. So from day after tomorrow, you can start going through them until I start. No, we don't teach Cucumber. Cucumber is again a separate tool altogether. All right. Any other questions? Okay, so we want these lives. So we won't get these live session recordings. No, you will get the live session recordings for this one also. See what happens. Already existing one is already there, and every day I'm going to record these sessions. These will also be available in the website. We will create a new link called Selenium March 2016 training and we'll put it there. You will get an access to these also. All right. Jyoti, does that the question or any other question that you have? Okay. What is this question, Radhika, from Smart? Yeah, I'm not getting it. So everything will be available in the website. It's a primary, point for you. Once you're done with your registrations, you will get a login ID and password for the website. Log into the website. You will have access to the videos of whatever the course that you have opted for it. Okay. All right. So tomorrow also we have one more session. That is a day one session. I'll be going a little bit more details into Selenium. So see you there, and then I'll spend good amount of time for the questions. All right. Thank you, team.